Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is the first video of Mehank house series, and yes, Mehank was our wedding hashtag, so I thought of using that. This is more of an informational video. In this video, I'm going to tell you that when you want to buy a house, wherever it is, even buying house in India is a big thing, but when you want to buy in a foreign country, you don't know where to start. That's what I'm going to answer for you, that where to start. These are the things where we begin our journey of finding a house, and I hope it is useful for you. So number one is your budget. I think when you have to start, you have to budget it out. And why is it very important and why it is on top of my list? Because in Norway, to buy a house, you need a minimum of 15% eigen capital, which means that is your own money you need, because bank is not going to finance the entire 100% amount. So you need 15% eigen capital, so which means you will have to plan your budget as per the savings you have. Like we have down payment in India, here it is called eigen capital, so you need that, and it has to be 15%. So for example, if you are buying a flat or a house which is for 5 million, so you have to calculate that you need 15% of that in your bank already to start the process. You can even check that what would be your EMI around, and if you go, like I have an account with DNB, and I'll try showing you here that if I go and I want to check my eligibility, the bank will tell me if I'm planning to take a loan of 5 million NOK, then this is what is my EMI around, and this is what my eigen capital is. So that's how you should actually plan. You should know that this much eigen capital you need, and this much is the borrowing capacity you have, and obviously it will subtract if you have any credit card or any other loan going on. So it's not like house loan is not considered independent, your overall borrowing capacity is considered. Even if both of you are earning, it's fine, both of your earnings will be taken into consideration while calculating your borrowing capacity. If not, then you will even have to, they will even reduce your borrowing capacity if your partner is not working with a certain amount, and they will reduce that amount from your loan amount. And then reach out to your bank, because when you buy a house, you need a document which is called as financing bevis in Norwegian. Mind my Norwegian, it's not that great. So that you have to give if you want to bid for a house. If you are buying a new house, you need that document, and that document basically is your borrowing capacity. There is, like, we have a maintenance cost in India over and above your EMIs. Here also in Norway they call it felles cost, which basically includes some of the common expenses of an area. Like the society where we live, we also have a felles cost. So that you have to see how much is that. Like it can range from 3,000 to even 8,000 in certain cases. So that will come over and above your EMI. So if you are saying, okay, this 30,000 EMI is okay, or 20,000, or whatever is your earning capacity, but this felles cost will be over and above that, so you have to be very careful that you have budget to even pay that. That is not part of the loan or any other thing. So that's another thing which we kept in mind, because we realized in some houses this felles cost varies a lot, and it was very high. So you have to even keep checking that before you finalize on a house. So you have to be very careful that this is my budget, because when you start the search, you need to know that what is the amount you can borrow, what is the money you have, and that's how you will begin your search. Otherwise you will find houses, and then you will realize later on with the bank that no, you're not eligible for that much loan. So we don't want you to have any heartbreaks. That's why I'm saying that you please do this first step and then move ahead. Okay, so now if you're ready with the first step, you know your budget, you know that you have already got your document from the bank, and so they will give you a value, like it will just tell you exactly you can buy a house till 7 million, 6 million. So they will tell you, and which makes your life easy when you are beginning the search. So where to search, where to find my dream house? So guys, as I told you earlier also on this channel, that I have found all our houses. Like my husband is staying here from last 8 years, and all the houses he's got is from fin.no. So that's an ultimate website. This house we bought, this all entire search is from fin. So fin is an ultimate place to go to, because you have a lot of filters. You can always filter what's your budget, which area you want. Everything is very easy. Yes, it's in Norwegian, but you can use Google Chrome and convert it in English if you're not that good with Norwegian. But yeah, it is really a website where all the people will list their house in Norway, and it's very easy to find a place there. So next very important thing, guys, which actually we took a lot of time to decide that, and I think you have to be in that city to decide that, and that's the area you want to buy the house. Because in fin, as I said, you will have to filter different areas, so you will have to decide which area you want a house in. Because earlier when we were living in Arendal, we knew we will move to Oslo. We even saw some flats, but we were not sure about that area, because area plays a very important role. Because you have to see that in that area, do you have an international school? If you want to send your kid to an international school tomorrow, you also want to check that if there is a kindergarten nearby. Generally it is there in a commune in Norway everywhere, but international school might not be there. So you want to check that. Also, what kind of people are there, because tomorrow if you have kids, your kids will play with them. So what kind of neighborhood you have. So I think area played a very important role in our decision as well. And also, if you want to sell the house tomorrow, you don't want to buy a house where the cost will not go high, because you are spending a lot of money. You want the cost to accelerate and just get your payback after some years. If you want to move to a bigger house, or even if you want to go back to India, you want to sell the house. So that's why area is a very, very important thing. So like, I'll give you our example. Like, we were very clear, we don't want to go very far from Oslo, and we wanted a place which is not very far from center. And this house is exactly 26 minutes from the Oslo center station, because I go every day. So I know I can be 2-3 minutes incorrect, but yeah, that's the average you will take. And then also we wanted an area which is probably in zone 1, because in Oslo you have different zones. So we wanted mostly in zone 1. So we got a place in zone 1, because we were living in West, which was Koyan, and we wanted to live in West only. Sometimes when you start living in a place, you just got attached to it. Area shortlisting is very important, because when you go and you begin your search, you will see that in your range, whatever range you select, there are different areas. Some people are okay to go far away from Oslo as well, because some of the houses there are cheaper. So it depends like what you want. And I would say just spend some time in the city to know the area before buying the house. It's good. Like we just spent 6-7 months, and that was enough time to know that where we want to buy a house. Next one, which is fourth one, which is house priorities. Like this I have kept here, because sometimes you have certain criteria related to your house which you need to decide before you start your search. Like very important thing in Norway is that you want a new house, or you're okay with an old house. Because you will find in Norway there are some houses which are very, very old, which are mostly in Oslo, inside the city, in very good areas like Merstua, Frogner Center, but they are old houses. So are you okay to refurnish the house, or you are okay to be in a very old house, or you want a comparatively new or a modern flat? Second, you want completely new flat and this is what you have decided, because a lot of people prefer a new flat because then you have the 5-year warranty from the builder and there are other benefits. So this is not a new flat which we bought, so I don't have much clarity that what all benefits you get, because we were okay to buy a flat where somebody has lived before, then we don't have to do it from scratch. And then we were more particular about area, as I said, more than the new flat. And also there's another factor which you have to think, because even we like some new flats. We were getting the possession after 2 years, 1.5 years, so which meant that we will continue paying the high rent in Oslo for another 1 year, 2 years. So we were not ready for that, and we thought it's our first house in Norway and we will just buy it, and then probably we'll see if we want to next flat we want to buy a new one. But right now we didn't wanted to spend any money on the rent anymore, and that's why we took this call. But it's a very personal choice, I'm not promoting any of it. So if you're okay to wait for 1.5 years, or generally it has a long waiting, because most of the flats would be booked and you don't get a building which is ready and you can just move. At least we didn't get. Most of the new flats we were getting, their possession was like after a year or 1.5 year. So we just thought we will buy a flat which is not very old also, and we can just move in and we don't have to wait. Second is like what kind of, like, you are okay, like if you have kids you need a 2-bedroom flat or a 3-bedroom flat. Like we were sure, after a while we got sure that we need a 2-bedroom flat, and because obviously one would not be enough. We also had a criteria that we want 2 bathroom, but I'll tell you guys that's not very common in Norway. Not most of the flats will have 2 bathroom, so we had to filter this criteria out, because yeah, it will happen that you will need maybe 100 things but you will not get 100 out of 100. So I think, but we got, I think, almost 95 in this house, because we just left that 2 bathroom thing. But it depends, if it's a must for you then your options will be less. We also wanted a parking, which is another very important factor while choosing a house, because a lot of flats, we realized when we were going for visionings, they didn't had a parking, but he had a rented parking. And we were very sure, because we have a car, so we wanted a parking. And sometimes when you need house in Oslo with parking, it becomes very expensive. Like we even found some flats where everything was set, we loved the flat, but they were charging us around 800,000 more just for parking in areas like Skoyen, where you don't have too many parking spaces. So yeah, so that's another very important factor about selecting the flat you want to be in. There's something called as energy rating. So that is also very important, because energy rating is basically about electricity consumption. It should be good where you want to move. So that also is one of the thing you can check. There's a detailed description available about it when you get the prospect, so you can always check that. So guys, these are the major things which came to my mind for where to start. I think it's enough to start with, and in the next video I will probably take you to the next steps where we started looking for a flat. And I actually recorded some of the visionings. Visioning is basically visiting the house, so I actually recorded it for my viewers when we viewed some flats. That's not the actual flat we are in and which we actually bought, but I'll just show you a glimpse of some visionings, and that's the next video. I am just telling you so that you keep watching this space for more, and do subscribe if you have not done yet, because I'm going to share a lot of useful information which is from my experience and which is a real experience. So I hope it helped you all. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.